Disrespect is a test. The test asks one thing. Will you protect your standards without getting dragged into noise? If you pass, the room learns your line. If you fail, the room learns your weakness. Start with a picture. There are two kinds of moves when someone crosses you. Hot moves, arguing, chasing, explaining, trading threats. Cold moves, clear terms, one decision, proof on a date. Hot moves feel strong and cost you power. Cold moves look simple and make you hard to move. The first rule is distance before words. When you feel the spike, step back. Count to 10. Put your shoulders still. Your aim is not to win a scene. Your aim is to reset the frame. Calm bodies carry strong messages. Now decide what the slight really is. Was it a slip, a habit, or a pattern that eats your time, price, or name? Each level gets a clean response. A slip gets a small correction. A habit gets a boundary with terms. A pattern gets a consequence once, then quiet distance. Keep it non-violent and legal. We are talking about work, life, and reputation. No threats, no harm, no illegal action. Your weapons are access, scope, timing, and proof. Machiavelli gives a hard lens for the logic behind firm action. Men ought either to be well treated or crushed, because they can avenge themselves of lighter injuries. Therefore, the injury that is to be done to a man ought to be of such a kind that one does not stand in fear of revenge. Read this today as, don't use tiny stings every week. Make one clear decision that ends the problem and leaves no back and forth. In real life, crushed means cut access, end the deal, or change terms in one pass, not harm. Comment this as your stance. Firm line, one pass, no drama. When you respond, do it privately first. Public scenes grow pride and noise. A private, steady line lowers heat and speeds agreement. Use short sentences. Here's the line, here's the reason, here's the next date. Then stop. Silence is your friend. Move the control from their mood to your structure. Put disrespect into a system you can run. One outcome, one metric, one date. If they cross time, you shrink access. If they crossed price, you hold the floor and reduce scope. If they cross tone, you move all talks into written channels and keep a record. You are not punishing. You are protecting delivery. If they test your line again, do not lecture. Change reality. Remove their special access. Put every new ask into Block B with a new price and later date. Pull meetings back to 15 minutes with an agenda and a hard stop. Replace opinion wars with tests. 1 week, one number decides. You don't beat disrespect with speeches. You make it expensive. Guard your image while you get firm. Machiavelli warns about the two real dangers, hatred and contempt. In plain words, avoid the moves that make you look petty or weak, and avoid the habits that make people despise your name. His line is direct. A leader should avoid those things which will make him hated or contemptible. For us, that means be fair, be exact, be steady, cut once without heat, then deliver value in steps. Comment this resolve. Respect first, standards hold, results on time. Here's a simple playbook for a clean, dark, as in cold and decisive response to disrespect. First contact late and solid. Don't argue in the moment. Send one message after you cool. We work with X standard. To continue, terms are Y. Next review Friday. Change access, not volume. If the line was crossed on tone, move all talks to email and set a reply window. If it was scope, split the work. The extra lives in a new block with a price. If it was time, move them to the back of the queue. Make the cut once, end or reset in one pass. Many small cuts teach people to try again next week. One clean cut teaches that your lines stay. Replace debate with a test. 1 week AB, metric decides. If they dodge tests, you've learned enough. Step back. Keep receipts. Save the message, the new terms, the dates, the before, after. Receipts end stories. Do not let anger write your bill. Keep your tone warm and your terms hard. Happy to help within the agreed scope. New items go in Block B with this rate and date. We'll keep everything in writing. No heat, just structure. If you must exit, do it clean. Thank them for what worked. State the end, the date, and the handoff. Revoke access you no longer need. Archive the thread. A clean exit is stronger than a long defense. Use timing like a shield. Make hard moves right after a small win or just before a natural reset. New sprint, quarter, release. People accept structure when the board has just flipped or is about to. If the disrespect came from a boss or powerful client, do the same steps. Quieter. Put everything into written check-ins with numbers. Offer pilots with one metric. Hold your floor. If they still push your line, protect your engine. Find a second path, another client, a new channel, a different role. Cold options are power. Don't let your friends be your mouth. If others start defending you in public threads, stop it kindly. One voice, one date, one receipt. You're building respect, not a crowd. When you miss, and you will at times, own one line, change one behavior, and set the next date inside 72 hours. Ship a reduced slice if needed. Corrections beat explanations. Practice 2 drills this week. The pause drill, 2 seconds of silence before every hard answer. This stops you from oversharing or making soft promises. The 1-line drill. Every response ends with a date. Next check Thursday. Dates end loops. Loops create calm. Some people will call your calm cold. Let them. You are not here to be liked by noise. You are here to be trusted by results. Rooms that matter plan around people who land work on time and hold lines without heat. Carry these 2 cues when disrespect shows up. Don't narrate, navigate. Don't punish price. That is the dark, quiet path. No speeches, no rage, just structure that makes bad behavior expensive and good behavior easy. Disrespect spreads when you react hot. It ends when you act cold. Cold means you keep your tone warm, your terms firm, and your proof on a date. You do not fight for attention. You reset the frame and make bad behavior expensive. Start by naming the move you're facing. Was it a small slight, a habit, or a pattern? A small slight gets a quiet nudge and a record. A habit gets a clear boundary with terms. A pattern gets one clean change in access or scope, then silence while you deliver results. This latter stops you from swinging between anger and apology. Shift the field from mood to structure. Put the issue into a system you can run. One outcome, one metric, one date. If someone disrespected your time, they move to a reply window and shorter meetings with an agenda and a hard stop. If they pressed your price, hold the floor and reduce scope. If they crossed tone, move to written channels only. You are not punishing. You are protecting delivery. Do not talk 3 times when one message will do. Send one steady note. What crossed the line, what changes now, and when the next review happens. Then stop. Extra words become new doors for argument. Your calm silence tells the room the matter is settled. Hold respect over approval. Niccolò Machiavelli wrote, "Men love according as they please, and fear according to the will of the prince. A wise prince should establish himself on that which he controls. He must endeavor only to avoid being hated." Read this today as, be steady, be exact, and care more about being predictable than being liked. Predictable people get budget and trust. Comment this affirmation in the comments. Respect over being liked. Standards stay. When the issue repeats, do not lecture. Change reality once. Pull special access. Split extra asks into a new block with a later date and a real price. Replace debates with a 1-week test and one deciding number. People can argue with your feelings. They rarely fight a clean receipt. Time your hard moves. Make them right after a small win or just before a natural reset. New sprint, release, or quarter. People accept structure when the board just flipped or is about to. If your first step misses, don't defend the story. Repair the step inside 72 hours. Post the new checkpoint and ship a reduced slice if needed. Corrections beat apologies because they change tomorrow. Protect your image while you get firm. Machiavelli warns that the real danger is not noise. It is becoming hated or despised. A prince can easily secure himself by avoiding being hated and despised, and by keeping the people satisfied with him. In practice, be fair, be clear, and be on time. Cut once without drama. Then deliver value in steps so the room sees progress. Keep your kindness. Lose leakage. Thank by. Name when people help. Share credit in public. But keep your keys, process, data, and admin access under your hand. If someone asks for full access to support you, offer a bounded pilot. 1 week, 1 metric, 1 price, staged access. Real partners accept results. Controllers want keys. Move talks to the right rooms. Handle heat in private first. If you must go public, keep it minimal and factual. What shipped, where it lives, who owns next date. No sarcasm, no threats. Screenshots outlive moods. Your goal is a trail of receipts, not a reel of scenes. Use the pause. 2 seconds before every hard line. The pause prevents soft promises you cannot carry and stops you from over-explaining. The line that follows should be short, finished, and paired with time. Live. Plus 8%. Next check Thursday. Busy minds trust clocks. Don't rescue chaos. Help with structure or step back. Before saying yes to quick favors, ask 3 questions. What is the deliverable? Who owns the rest? What drops to make room? If answers are foggy, offer a small paid triage or a smaller version with a real date. Real urgency accepts structure. Fake urgency argues. Decide how you treat different types of disrespect. Missed deadlines without notice. Shorten scope, add a late fee, or move the item to the back of the queue. Boundary tests. Just this once. Smaller version at the same standard, with a new date and price. Public shade or gossip. 1 private message with terms, then receipts only. If it continues, end access. Tone violations. Written channels only. Reply window once a day. No live calls without an agenda. Repeated scope creep. Everything new into Block B with a separate budget and later milestone. Keep a proof kit so you never fight with words for long. A before-after with timestamps, a 30-second clip of the result working, and 1 line with a number and the next date. When a thread heats up, post 1 item from the kit and return to work. Boring proof ends hot talk. If power disrespects you, a boss, a big client, apply the same rules, quieter. Move to written check-ins with numbers. Offer tests. Keep your floor. Build a second path in the background. Another client, a new channel, a different team. So you always have options. Options make your voice steady. Control who speaks for you. 1 voice for hot updates. Clear lanes for partners. Train your circle to use short, finished lines that match your rhythm. If someone freelances with big promises, move them out of public rooms. People judge you by the mouths near you. Do not confuse being cold with being cruel. Cold means you stop donating time to drama and start investing in structure. Cruel is petty and loud. Stay warm in tone and exact in terms. Happy to help within the agreed scope. New items go in Block B with this rate and date. Calm words, hard lines. If you miss, own one sentence, change one behavior, and set a near date. Then ship. You earn more respect from a clean fix than from a long apology. Your name rises when your calendar keeps its word. Endings matter. When you must exit, do it once, calmly, and completely. Thank them for what worked. State the close, the date, and the handoff. Revoke access you don't need. Archive the thread. Loose ends become slow leaks that drain your next week. Train your week so disrespect has nowhere to grow. 2 deep work blocks a day, 1 reply window, 1 weekly snapshot that shows the number that moved, and the next checkpoint. This rhythm makes you predictable. Predictable people are hard to disrespect because everyone can plan around them. Type this affirmation in the comments. Calm tone, firm terms, proof on time. The dark way here is not anger, it is control. You make the painful change once. You give benefits in steps. You speak less and show more. You hold your keys. You keep your records. You let results settle the room. People learn your line or they leave your calendar. Both outcomes are wins. Move like this long enough and the room will adjust to you. Not because you shouted the loudest, but because your pattern never flinched and your receipts kept arriving. Disrespect feeds on reaction. It starves when you stay cold and change reality once. The aim is not payback. The aim is order. Your time safe, your price firm, your name clean. Start by mapping the source. Is it casual sloppiness, quiet sabotage, or open challenge? Each tier gets a different lever. Sloppiness needs a nudge with structure. Sabotage needs reduced access and tighter lanes. Open challenge needs one clean reset and a visible clock that others can see. Keep your body slow. 2 seconds before hard lines. Shoulders still. Short sentences. Calm posture tells the room you will not be dragged into scenes. Scenes are bait. Structure is the answer. Use lanes to stop repeat offenses. Move live talks to written threads when tone slips. Put all extras in Block B with a price and later date when scope creeps. Set a reply window when people trample your hours. Lanes do what lectures cannot. They make bad behavior expensive and good behavior easy. Do not negotiate against yourself. When someone sits in silence after you state terms, that silence is a test. Breathe. If they push for just this once, answer with a smaller version at the same standard, not a cheaper version of you. Your floor is not rude. It is the guardrail that protects delivery. When you must act, act once. End the old shape in a single pass. New scope, new price, new date. Then stop explaining. Let the next 2 small wins arrive on schedule. People remember what lands. They forget the thread they tried to start. Use proof, not volume. Keep a simple kit on hand. A before-after with timestamps, a 30-second clip of the result working, and 1 line with a number, and the next date. When the air gets hot, post 1 item and return to work. Boring proof ends hot. Talk. If the slight was public, reply in private first. If public reply is required, keep it factual and short. What changed, where the work lives, the next checkpoint. No sarcasm, no heat. Screenshots outlive moods. You are building a record you can point to in any room. Choose who speaks for you. 1 voice for hot updates. Partners get their slice only. Everyone else stays out of public promises. People judge you by the mouths near you. Keep those mouths trained on short, finished lines that match your rhythm. Machiavelli's warning about image sits behind all of this. Avoid hatred and contempt. Hatred grows when you look unfair or small. Contempt grows when you look weak or needy. Your defense is simple. Fair action, firm standards, and receipts that land on time. You don't need sharp speeches. You need steady clocks. Set consequences you can run without drama. If they miss deadlines without notice, move them to the back of the queue and tie new work to milestones. If they push your floor, shrink the scope and keep the standard. If they shade you in public, one private note with terms, then written channels only. Repeat, end access. If they trample your hours, a reply window and shorter meetings with agendas and hard stops. If they leak drafts, reveal later and lock access to finished steps only. Drop this affirmation in the comments as your stance. Cold action, one pass, next date set. Power shows up in timing. Deliver hard news right after a small win or before a natural reset. New sprint, release, or quarter. People accept direction when the board has just flipped or is about to. If the first step misses, don't defend the story. Repair the step inside 72 hours. Post the new checkpoint and ship a reduced slice if needed. Corrections beat apologies because corrections change tomorrow. Use tests instead of debates. 1 week pilot, metric X decides. People can attack opinions. They rarely fight a clean number. If the other side dodges tests and keeps pushing for talk, you have learned enough. Step back. Your time goes to people who accept structure. Be careful with generosity. Kindness that ignores lines becomes a signal to push you again. Keep generosity on rails. A template that helps. A quick pointer to a resource. A public thank you when someone lands their part. Generous, yes. Porous, never. Control first contact on future work. Appear steady outside while you change fast inside. Ask for the one thing you truly need. Carry the rest yourself. Early drafts invite edits from people who do not carry the cost. Finished steps invite trust. If disrespect comes from above, the moves do not change. They get quieter. Put everything into written check-ins with numbers. Offer pilots with a deciding metric. Keep your floor. Meanwhile, build a second path outside the relationship. Another client, a new channel, a different team. So your options stay real. Options make your tone calm. Do not outsource your boundaries to allies. Well-meaning friends will defend you in public and create a mess. Thank them and close the stage. I've handled it. Next check Friday. One voice, one date. Keep your name clean at turns. When you close a deal or leave a team, hand over one page. What shipped, where it lives, who owns next. Revoke access you no longer need. Archive the thread. Loose ends grow rumors. Rumors eat next week. If you are pulled into circles that trade insults, do not trade back. Replace heat with receipts. Live, apply 9%. Next check Tuesday. Busy minds value certainty. Certainty is what you sell. Ruthlessness here is not cruelty. It is clarity about cost. You will not pay with your sleep, your calendar, or your name just to avoid a hard sentence. One clean sentence now is cheaper than weeks of mess. To continue, we'll work within X scope at Y rate, review on Friday. Then meet Friday with proof. Choose where to stand firm and where to leave. If their rules make you late and small, leave. Quietly. If their rules make you better and faster, join. Your feet are a vote. Spend that vote on rooms where respect is traded for results, not for noise. If guilt bites when you hold a line, check the record. Did you deliver what you said? Did you offer fair options? Did you set the next date? If yes, let the guilt pass. That feeling belongs to your old habit of saying yes to bad terms. You are building a different habit now. Keep a weekly ritual that locks order in place. Friday. What shipped? What moved? What I'll stop? The stop line returns force. Remove one leak each week. A vague meeting, a forever thread, a missing checklist. Most limits are not walls. They are leaks you haven't sealed yet. Use small public proof to reset any room. 2 weeks of visible steps, posted at the same time and in the same format, will beat a month of speeches. Rhythm becomes reputation. Reputation becomes protection. When someone calls your cool cold, translate it. Calm tone protects outcomes. Outcomes serve everyone. Then land the next step on time. After 2 cycles, reasonable people convert. The rest were there for your energy, not your work. Write this affirmation in the comments to anchor the habit. Calm voice, firm lines, receipts on schedule. There is a quiet sentence that works in almost every tough moment. Here is what changes. Here is the proof we'll show. Here is the date. That sentence is steel covered in cloth. It keeps you lawful, decent, and effective. It leaves no handle for drama. It raises your name because it raises certainty. Remember the order. Don't narrate. Navigate. Don't punish. Price. Don't chase. Structure. When you live by that order, disrespect has nowhere to feed. People either adjust to your lines or leave your calendar. Both outcomes move you forward. Disrespect spreads when it finds space. Your job in this stage is to close space, clean rules, calm delivery, and a trail of receipts. You're not here to win a scene. You're here to make scenes unprofitable. Start by removing fuel. No live debates when tempers are high. Move hot talks to writing with a reply window. Written lanes slow impulse and create a record you can point to later. When someone tries to pull you back into real-time drama, post one line. What changes, where proof will show, and the date, and exit. Next, make consequences predictable. People should know exactly what follows a crossed line. Missed deadlines, move work to the back of the queue. Scope pushes get split into Block B, with a later date and real price. Tone breaks move all talks to email with 15-minute agendas. Predictable rules reduce tests, because tests stop paying. Use private first contact for respect issues. One short note. The line, the reason, the new terms, the checkpoint. Then silence. If they keep pushing, you don't add paragraphs. You change reality once, access, scope, timing, and let the next 2 small wins land on schedule. Scenes fade in the face of steady proof. Anchor your stance to image, not emotion. Machiavelli warns that the real danger isn't noise. It's becoming hated or despised. His line is blunt. A leader can secure himself by avoiding being hated and despised, and by keeping the people satisfied with him. In practice, you act firm without pettiness, steady without neediness, and always pair hard cuts with fair handoffs. This mix keeps respect while you tighten terms. Put this pledge in the comments. Fair hands, firm lines, proof on time. Build a quiet wall with 3 bricks: receipts, cadence, and credit. Receipts end stories. A before, after with timestamps, a 30-second clip that runs, 1 line with the number and next date. Cadence creates trust. Same day weekly snapshot, same format, same time. Credit cools rooms. Name helpers in public when their part lands. Walls like this make cheap shots look small. Control who speaks for you. Disrespect often arrives through mouths that aren't yours. Loose defenses, side promises, leaked drafts. Decide who has a mic and when. Train those voices to use short, finished lines that match your rhythm. Live, +7%. Next check Tuesday. Machiavelli's test for judgment sits here. The first opinion which one forms of a prince is by observing the men he has around him. Choose capable, faithful people, and your image rises without speeches. If someone in your circle freelances with big promises, correct once in private, and move them away from public rooms. Your reputation is a shared asset. Protect it like any other asset. Neutralize gossip with structure, not heat. Gossip wants you loud. Instead, Post the receipt, restate the rule, set the date, and leave. If a false claim touches a customer or team decision, make one factual correction in the right channel and attach evidence. Screenshots outlive moods. Let the record work for you. When power disrespects you, a boss, a large client, the moves don't change. They get quieter. Shift to numbers and dates. Run pilots with deciding metrics and keep your floor. Meanwhile, build a second path, another client, a new channel, a different team, so you have options. Options make your voice steady and your terms credible. Hold generosity on rails. Be warm in tone and strict in structure. Thank people by name when they land a step. Offer helpful templates or pointers that don't cost your engine. But don't donate time to chaos. Before any quick favor, ask, what's the deliverable? Who owns the rest? What drops to make room? If answers are foggy, offer a small paid triage or a smaller version with a real date. Real urgency accepts structure. Fake urgency argues. Use one clean pass for heavy resets. End the old shape, terms, access, cadence, in a single decision. Then let small benefits arrive in steps. On-time replies, clear handoffs, visible wins. People forget the argument when they can feel the order. Lock posture to slow your mouth when pressure spikes. 2 seconds before hard answers. Short sentences. Still shoulders. Calm bodies read as control, and control buys time for proof to land. Keep the fortress idea in view. Machiavelli notes that the best defense isn't walls, it's avoiding hatred. He writes that the best possible fortress is not to be hated by the people. Translate this into work. Don't do petty public punishments. Don't hoard credit. Don't spring traps. Be firm, useful, and on time. Even those who don't like you will plan around you because your rules are clear and your deliveries arrive. Post this line in the comments as your resolve. No scenes, only structure. No threats, only terms. Practical plays that close the last gaps. Scope creep. Split instantly. Block A, current promise, marches. Block B, new items. Gets price. Date. No lectures. Tone slides. Written lanes only. Reply window once daily. No live calls without agenda. Deadline misses. Work moves behind those who shipped. Future milestones tied to prior delivery. Public shade. One private message with terms. If repeated, end special access and keep proof public and calm. Leak risks. Reveal late and solid. Ask only for the single thing you need. Carry the rest yourself. Use timing like a tool. Make hard announcements right after a small win or just before a natural reset. New sprint, release, quarter. People accept structure when the board has just flipped or is about to. If your first step misses, don't defend paragraphs. Repair the step inside 72 hours. Post the new checkpoint and ship a reduced slice. Corrections beat apologies because they change tomorrow. Do not let disrespect turn you into what you dislike. You don't mock names. You don't crowdsource shame. You don't build little traps. You go colder, smaller, clearer. You show the metric. You hold the floor. You set the date. And you leave the door open for better behavior under new terms. Reputation is rhythm plus fairness over time. Stay boring in your updates. Live. Blunds 9%. Next check Tuesday. The boring person who lands work on time becomes the reliable center of the room. That reliability is gravity. Gravity bends disrespect away from you because people can't afford to be on the wrong side of your schedule. If guilt bites when you hold a line, check the ledger. Did you deliver what you said? Did you offer clean options? Did you set the next date? Then the guilt is old habit. Let it pass. Strength with fairness is not cruelty. It is service to the work and to everyone who depends on it. When you close a chapter, project, partnership, role, make the exit clean. One page. What shipped, where it lives, who owns next. Return what's theirs. Revoke access you don't need. Archive the thread. Loose ends become rumors. Rumors eat next week. Let small public examples do the teaching. 2 quiet cycles where standards hold and proof arrives on time will adjust most rooms faster than any speech. People copy what works. Give them something clean to copy. Remember the hierarchy that keeps you safe. Don't narrate. Navigate. Don't punish. Price. Don't chase. Structure. You lose nothing by being decent and exact. You gain everything by being steady and visible. Carry one sentence into any tense room. Here is what changes, here is how we will show it, and here is the date. It is steel wrapped in cloth. It keeps you lawful, fair, and effective. It gives the other side a way back under real terms, and gives you a way forward even if they refuse. Disrespect loves empty space, vague terms, loose access, and late proof. Close the space, and you close the problem. Your aim is not revenge. Your aim is order that survives heat. Begin by shrinking the arena. No live debates when tempers are high. Move hot talks to writing with a fixed reply window. Written lanes slow impulse, and create a record you can point to later. When someone tries to pull you back onto a call, post one finished line. What changes, where proof appears, and the date, then leave the room. Scenes feed pride. Structure feeds results. Map the breach with a ruler, not feelings. Is it a slip, a habit, or a pattern? A slip gets a quiet nudge and a note. A habit gets terms plus a timer. A pattern gets one clean change in reality. Access, scope, or order, followed by silence while you deliver. This latter keeps you from swinging between anger and apology. Put weight on levers you control. If they abuse time, you move them to a reply window and make meetings 15 minutes with an agenda and a hard stop. If they kept pushing scope, you split. Block A, current promise marches. Block B, new asks, gets a later date and real price. If they broke tone, you shift every talk to writing. You're not punishing, you're protecting delivery. Make the first contact private and exact. One message, the crossed line, the change, the checkpoint. End with a date. Then stop. Extra words are new doors for argument. Your calm silence tells the room the matter is settled. Niccolò Machiavelli gives the courage you need to hold the line on image instead of mood. It may be answered that one should wish to be both, but because it is difficult to unite them in one person, is much safer to be feared than loved, when, of the two, either must be dispensed with. Read feared today as respected for clear rules. You don't bully. You make your terms predictable and your proof punctual. Predictability earns room. Drop this affirmation in the comments. Respect beats approval. Standards stay. Build a quiet wall around your name with 3 bricks: receipts, cadence, and credit. Receipts end stories. A before, after with timestamps, a 30-second clip that runs, 1 line with the number, and the next date. Cadence creates trust. Same format, same day, same time every week. Credit cools rooms. Name helpers when their part lands. Walls like this make cheap shots look small, because busy minds can see how you work. Choose who speaks for you. Disrespect often rides on mouths that aren't yours. Loose defenses, side promises, leaked drafts. Name one voice for hot updates. Train partners to speak only to their slice. Everything else stays silent. People judge you by the people near your work. Keep their lines short and finished. If someone in your circle freelances with grand promises, correct once in private and move them away from public rooms. Your reputation is a shared asset. Protect it like any other asset. Replace debates with tests. When pressure spirals into opinion wars, route to a 1-week pilot with one deciding number. People can fight feelings. They rarely fight a clean metric. If they dodge the test and keep asking for talk, you've learned enough. It was never about outcomes. Step back and put your time where structure is welcome. Keep generosity on rails. Be warm in tone and hard in terms. You can share templates that save 10 minutes, or a link that keeps a teammate moving, or a public thank you that lifts the room. But you don't donate your engine. Before any quick favor, ask 3 questions. What is the output? Who owns the rest? What drops to make room? If answers are foggy, offer a small paid triage or a smaller version with a real date. Real urgency accepts structure. Fake urgency argues. Do the painful part once. Give benefits in steps. End the old shape in a single pass. New scope, new price, new cadence. Then let small wins arrive on a schedule. People forget the noise when they can feel the order. You're not cold. You're reliable. Time hard moves when minds are open. Make resets right after a visible win or just before a natural reset. New sprint, release, or quarter. Rooms accept structure when the board has just flipped or is about to. If your first step misses, don't defend the paragraph. Repair the step inside 72 hours. Post the new checkpoint and, if needed, ship a reduced slice. Corrections beat apologies because they change tomorrow. Build a second path so your voice stays steady when power tests you. If a big client or boss disrespects the line, shift to numbers and dates, run pilots, and hold the floor. In the background, build options. Another client, a new channel, a different team. Options turn please into here are the terms. Calm follows options. Use posture to prevent your mouth from making side deals. 2 seconds before hard answers. Shoulders still. Short sentences. The pause keeps you from over-explaining or promising extras your calendar cannot carry. Calm bodies buy time. Time lets receipts land. Guard against the 2 true risks, hatred and contempt. Hatred comes from unfair grabs. Credit, time, trust. Contempt comes from looking weak, late, needy, inconsistent. Head them off with fair handoffs, public credit, steady delivery, and quick corrections. Niccolò's firewall still holds. Avoid being hated and despised, and most dangers shrink. When disrespect goes public, don't make a show. Reply in private first. If a public reply is necessary, keep it factual and short. What changed? Where the work lives? Who owns next? Next date. No sarcasm. Screenshots outlive moods. Your trail of receipts will protect you longer than any speech. If leaks are likely, reveal late and solid. Ask only for the one thing you truly need. Carry the rest yourself. Early drafts invite edits from people who don't hold the cost. Finished steps invite trust. Control first contact on future work. Open with outcomes, not recipes. Live by Thursday, plus 9% load speed, next check Tuesday. Busy minds trust clocks and numbers. Your sentence should be easy for allies to repeat word for word in rooms you never enter. Set predictable consequences so tests stop being fun. Missed deadlines without notice. Move work to the back of the queue. Next milestone tied to prior delivery. Scope pushes. Split into Block B with new price date. Current promise marches untouched. Tone breaks, written channels only. Daily reply window. No live calls without agenda. Public shade. One private note with terms. Repeat and special access ends. Keep proof public and calm. Draft leaks. Reduce preview pool. Reveal late and solid. Ask only for one needed input. Leave this affirmation in the comments with intent. Calm tone, firm terms, receipts on schedule. Expect pushback when you introduce the new order. You are changing incentives. Some who thrived on your old softness will resist. Niccolò Machiavelli warned you in a line that fits any workplace. There is nothing more difficult to take in hand, more perilous to conduct, or more uncertain in its success than to take the lead in the introduction of a new order of things. The innovator has for enemies all those who have done well under the old conditions, and lukewarm defenders in those who may do well under the new. Hold steady and let the next 2 cycles of proof teach the room. Keep your exits clean. If a line keeps getting crossed, close the chapter once, calmly and completely. Thank them for what worked. State the end, the date, and the handoff. Revoke access you don't need. Archive the thread. Loose ends become slow leaks that erase next week's win. Run a weekly reset that starves drama. 2 deep work blocks a day. 1 reply window. A Friday snapshot that shows the number that moved and the next checkpoint. Add a stop line for yourself. 1 leak you will remove next week. A vague meeting, a forever thread, a missing checklist. Subtraction returns force. If guilt bites when you hold a line, read the ledger. Did you deliver what you said? Did you offer fair options? Did you set a date? Then the guilt is an old habit, not a sign. Let it pass. Strength with fairness isn't cruelty. It's service to the work and to everyone depending on it. Let your circle carry your image the right way. Train them to echo your lines exactly. Live. Plus 7%. Next check Tuesday. And nothing else. Praise people who echo well. If someone keeps freelancing with big promises, move them off public stages. A tidy echo protects you while you're not in the room. Your pattern now is hard to bend. Private first contact, 1-pass resets, tests over debates, receipts on a calendar, and kindness on rails. You don't punish, you price. You don't chase, you structure. You don't narrate, you navigate. The room learns the lesson or exits your calendar. Both outcomes move you forward. This is the stage where you stop firefighting and lock a system that keeps disrespect unprofitable. The goal is order that survives pressure. Your time protected, your price steady, your name clean, without scenes, without threats. You will run a repeatable loop that closes gaps, enforces terms, and lets results speak. Begin with a re-entry rule. People who crossed your line may try to come back like before. There is no before. Re-entry happens under new structure only. A small paid pilot, 1 metric, 1 date, staged access, no full keys, no vague favors. If someone won't accept a bounded pilot, they haven't accepted your boundary. They've only tested it. Set a visible ladder of consequences that you can run calmly. First breach, slip, private nudge, plus note. Second breach, habit, terms on paper, plus reply window, plus shorter meetings with an agenda. Third breach, pattern. Change reality once. Split scope into block B with later date price. Move to written lanes or reduce access. Fourth breach, defiance. Clean exit, handoff, revoke access, archive thread. This latter removes debate. You are not arguing about feelings, you are administering a system. Tighten first contact so emotion never writes your terms. When a line is crossed, send a single message. What changed? What now applies? The checkpoint. End with a date. Then stop talking. Extra words become handles for drama. Your silence says the decision is real. Move your attention from motives to mechanics. Motives are foggy. Mechanics are numbers and dates. If a person disrespects your time, they move to a daily reply window, and their meetings become 15 minutes with a hard stop. If they press your price, you hold the floor and shrink scope. If they break tone, you put everything into writing. This is not punishment. This is protection for delivery. Make the painful change once. Let benefits arrive in steps. A slow drip of mini-cuts looks petty and invites more tests. One clear reset looks like leadership. After the reset, Show small, regular wins so the room feels order returning. Use timing to your advantage. Announce hard moves right after a visible win or just before a natural reset, new sprint, release, or quarter. People accept structure when the board has flipped or is about to. If your first step misses, don't defend a paragraph. Repair the step inside 72 hours, post the new checkpoint, and ship a reduced slice if needed. Corrections beat apologies because they change tomorrow. Add this affirmation in the comments. Cold structure. 1 pass. Proof on a date. Guard your public image with a quiet wall of receipts, cadence, and credit. Receipts and stories. A before-after with timestamps, a 30-second clip that runs, 1 line with a number and next date. Cadence builds trust. Same format, same day, same time every week. Credit cools rooms. Name helpers when their part lands. These 3 bricks make cheap shots look small because busy minds can see how you work. Control who speaks for you. Disrespect often spreads through borrowed mouths, loose defenses, side promises, leaked drafts. 1 mouth for hot updates. Partners speak only to their slice. Everyone else, no public promises. Train your circle to echo your rhythm exactly. Live, slut 7%. Next check Tuesday. And nothing more. If someone freelances with big promises, correct once in private and move them away from public rooms. Your reputation is a shared asset. Protect it like any other asset. Be fair, not soft. Fairness means clear scope, on-time handoffs, and clean exits. Softness means bending rules to avoid a hard sentence. Niccolò Machiavelli's safeguard still applies. Avoid moves that make you hated or despised. Firm, useful, punctual behavior keeps you outside both zones. You are steady without pettiness, exact without cruelty. Do not postpone necessary action just to avoid tension. A cold line from Machiavelli fits here. A prince should never allow matters to drift in order to avoid war, for he does not avoid it, but only puts it off to his disadvantage. In practice, if a reset is needed, waiting breeds bigger messes. Make the change once, then start the schedule that cools the room. Design a re-entry protocol for people who want back under new terms. It has 4 steps. Acknowledge the specific line that was crossed. Run a short pilot with 1 deciding metric. Keep everything in writing until 2 cycles land clean. Restore normal access gradually, never all at once. If they argue with steps 1 to 3, they are arguing with structure itself. Step out politely. Replace retaliation with pricing. You don't punish, you price. Extra demands go into Block B with a later date and a real fee. Late arrivals move behind those who shipped. Tone breaks remove live calls and add paper trails. When the cost of disrespect rises, most people adapt. Protect your engine while you collaborate with power. Borrow reach. Own your core, method, templates, data, admin keys, share outcomes, keep recipes. If a powerful client or boss wants full access to support you, offer a bounded pilot with staged access. Real partners accept results. Controllers want keys. Keys stay with you. If disrespect goes public, don't make a show. Reply in private first. If a public reply is required, keep it factual and short. What changed? Where the work lives? Who owns next? Next date. No sarcasm. Screenshots outlive moods. Your trail of receipts will outlast any scene. Keep generosity on rails so kindness never becomes a leak. Give templates, pointers, and public thanks that don't drain your engine. Before any quick favor, ask 3 questions. What is the deliverable? Who owns the rest? What drops to make room? If answers are foggy, offer a small paid triage or a smaller version with a real date. Real urgency accepts structure. Fake urgency argues. Audit yourself weekly with 3 lines. What shipped, what moved, what I'll stop. The stop line is where your strength returns. Remove one leak each week. A vague meeting, a forever thread, a missing checklist. Most limits aren't walls. They're leaks you haven't sealed yet. Build options so your tone stays calm. Keep a second path for anything critical. One alternate vendor, one backup tool, one direct channel. Test a backup monthly. Options turn please into, here are the terms. Calm follows options. If guilt bites when you hold a line, read the ledger. Did you deliver what you said? Did you offer clean options? Did you set the next date? If yes, let the guilt pass. That feeling belongs to an old habit, trading your standards for peace. You're writing a different story now. Turn praise into motion and pushback into tests. Praise gets, appreciate it, next check Thursday. Pushback gets, 1 week AB, metric X decides. Both signals feed your cadence, or they are noise. Make exits clean, so rumors can't eat next week. 1 page. What shipped, where it lives, who owns next. Return what's theirs. Revoke access you don't need. Archive the thread. Loose ends become slow leaks. Leaks kill pace. Stop measuring strength by speeches. Measure it by rhythm that survives bad days. 2 deep work blocks protected, 1 reply window, 1 snapshot posted, 1 leak removed. Rhythm becomes reputation. Reputation becomes protection. Protection makes disrespect too expensive to maintain. Build a proof ledger you control. Store your before, afters, clips, metrics, decisions, and dates in one place under your keys. If the cast changes, your record travels. Rooms respect the person who can show how the last 10 weeks moved, line by line. Use posture as your circuit breaker. 2 seconds before hard answers. Short sentences. Still shoulders. Calm bodies buy time. Time lets receipts land. Anger wants a scene. Discipline wants a schedule. Seal this affirmation in the comments. Calm tone. Hard terms. Receipts on schedule. Carry 3 sentences into any tense room, and you will stay lawful, decent, and effective. Here is what changes. Here is how we will show it. Here is the date. Those lines are steel wrapped in cloth. They leave no handle for drama, and give the other side a clean way back under real terms. And if they refuse the terms, your system already has the exit built in. This is the dark way, because it is cold and decisive, not because it is cruel. You do the hard part once. You give benefits in steps. You speak little. You show much. You keep your keys. And you let results finish the sentence. Run this loop and you won't need to fight for respect. Rooms will plan around you because your pattern does not flinch.